Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. You're with Renee, and today we're going to actually look at how to color fairy wings. And this is a perfect picture for this because it does show both the fairy wings and how to color those, but it's also going to show how to color bubbles as well. I've colored a couple of the bubbles just to show you the colors that we're going to be using in the fairy wings. I'm going to switch you on over to the other camera here so you can get a better look at that. In this bubble here, we've got some blues, we've got some greens, purples, pinks, and cream colors. I am going to use my Holbein pencils because it does have a lot of the beautiful pastel colors that we want. So I've got the lilac. I'm going to turn on the light here so I can see what I'm doing. We've got lilac, we've got ice green, we've got opal green, and horizon blue, and this one here is shell pink, and then we have cherry blossom. So we've got the Holbein pencils here, and these are the ones that we're going to use throughout the wings. Now, another thing that you're going to need, other than pastel colors, is a white pencil. Of course, your blender pencil, and I'm going to use the Caran d'Ache blender pencil. But one of the main things I use, other than a white gel pen, and this is a Jelly Roll number 8, is this one, which is a Jelly Roll Glaze. And what the Jelly Roll Glaze does, I'll show you on this other one here if you can see it, is it adds that shine. See that shine? Adds the shine to the wings as well as the bubbles. So when you take your picture, it'll be a shiny kind of color. And I haven't done it on this one yet, as you can see. It's just got the pencil on it. So I'm just going to cover that. Now my glaze pen is almost out, so I'm hoping that I have enough to get through this video. I have ordered some more, but basically with the glazes especially, the ink flows out of it really, really well. And it's a clear ink, so it doesn't hinder the colors that you've put down. Now, the only thing with this ink is, of course, if you're going to put down your white ink, you may want to do that after, because the glaze will pick it up and move it around. With inks, it does that a little bit, so I've put the glazes over top of other jelly roll pens, and it seems to move that ink around. Now, I can't see very well on how well that's covered, so I'm really hoping it's covered. But without my big light on, I can't really see how much is covered and how much I've missed. Another thing that I really like about this is if you do find that you have missed some white spot, it fills in that white spot and moves some of that color around a little bit as well. So as you can see, it adds that wet look to it, and I did miss huge spots, but that's okay. And for bubbles, that's awesome. And it's really cool for wings too. So we're going to concentrate on the wings. If you want to see different levels and different types of bubbles being done, over on Coloring Bliss is YouTube channel, she is doing all sorts of different bubbles. I will be doing another video on bubbles later on, but if you want to do it now, of course, you can go over to Jennifer Stay's YouTube channel for Coloring Bliss and take a look at some of the bubbles that she is doing because they're wonderful. All right, so to get us started, we're going to do the wings the same as bubbles. We're going to make her the bubble fairy, and we're going to actually make her wings look like bubbles. So of course, this side of the wings is darker, so there's light, of course, coming this way. So we've got to make sure that we use the darker colors over here. Now this side of her wings is lighter, so we're going to use some of the lighter colors. And it's going to take a little bit more pressure to cover those different areas. Now, the one thing I want to say absolutely with fairy wings is there is no wrong way to do this. There is absolutely no wrong way of doing a fairy wing. You can do it any way you want with any colors that you want. Like, for example, her dress is reds and purples. I could have done her wings in tones of reds and purples if I wanted to. Instead, I'm doing it in tones of purples and pinks and blues. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going through and I'm just adding different colors and getting darker as I get closer to the edges and to her so that it stands out a little bit more. And of course, that's one thing that you can definitely do is just, if you don't find that there's enough color in one spot, add a little bit more. If you don't think there's enough of pink or enough of green or enough blue, just add a little bit more. And that's the great thing about fairy wings is it doesn't matter what color you color it. Basically, the rule of thumb for me is the wing is going to be darker at the tip towards the body. So if you're doing a translucent wing, make sure that you use a brighter color or a darker color close to the body. Like when I do rainbow wings, I always start with the yellows down here and end with the purples and the pinks up here where they're lighter. Okay. And that's basically it. You know, we're going to color this entire wing and then we'll take a look at it and see how it looks. And it's just basically putting in some colors randomly and doing the same swirly type of effect that you would find in a bubble. You know, so take a look at a soap bubble. Sometimes there's purples, sometimes there's pinks, sometimes there's, you know, oranges and greens, and it all depends upon the type of soap, what's in the soap, and that sort of thing. So, you know, take a look at some bubbles and watch them form. You know, basically with this, it's like dipping something that has multiple areas for bubbles to form in a bubble solution. So if you take one of those multi-bubble blower things, I can't remember what they're called, the kids used to have them, and do that, it has multiple little parts that hold the bubble solution. And that's basically what we're going to do with this wing, is we're going to make it like that so that it's going to hold the solution before it gets blown into a bubble. And like I said, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. There is no right and wrong colors to use. Do what you like. What you feel looks good will look good. I've had people tell me, I don't know how to do wings and I don't know what colors to choose, or, wings scare me, and you should not be afraid of them. They're not a scary thing. You just look at it and go, okay, that's a bubble fairy, or that's an autumn fairy, or a spring fairy, or a rose fairy, and just choose your colors according to what kind of fairy it is. And I felt that there wasn't enough purple here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more purple. Now, the great thing about this is it does already have that grayscale in it, so you can just go over the darker areas with the darker colors. Leave those white areas white, or you can cover them up and put a little bit more white area in yourself later on. So if I was to cover this up here, I would put a bit of white gel pen there, because that's where the light's hitting it. And just follow your light sources. Like I said, with the grayscale, it's a little bit easier because those light sources are already showing there for you. I've got too many pencils in my hand. And just remember, once you get down to here where it's closer to the body, that area of the wing is going to be thicker. So try to make sure that your deepest color is down there. All right, now we're going to do the edges here. I'm going to use my dog is on the sofa snoring. So hopefully you guys can't hear that. Now, another thing that a lot of times you'll find in wings is a yellow tone. I'm using a green, a light green, which gives it that yellow tone. Especially in the lighter rainbow wing type of thing. And like I said, if you find that there's a color missing or it just doesn't look right because there's not enough color in it, add some more color. It's not going to hurt it. Add whatever colors you find you like in it. It's not going to take away from the fact that it's a fairy wing and it's special. And just follow the contours of the wing. Another tip I'm going to give you after we're done coloring everything and we put the glaze on is you can make these wings look different ways by adding and subtracting different things from them. For example, this artist, which is Selina Fenech, or Fenech, has added a very dark border on her wings. Now you can keep that dark border, or you can change that dark border. You know, if you wanted to make this an entirely see-through wing, you can take your white jelly roll and just go over the entire dark areas of the wing, the black, and completely remove that. So it looks like the entire wing is just one translucent bubble. Or you can keep that and make it into a metallic bubble wing and go over it with a silver gel pen or a gold gel pen and that sort of thing. Or you can just keep it black. Now she has already, of course, colored this because it is a grayscale. So all the little white dots on here are different little white dots that she put in as a background. So it's all different little light spots that she's put through the wings so that you can see that it's pretty much a see-through wing. Now this part of the wing here is going to show a little bit darker because of the bubble behind it. So try to follow the bubble colors as it goes through. So in this area here, we've got some purple, and then we've got a little bit of seafoam type green there. And then we've got a little bit of the yellow green there. And then this area here is the pink. The pink comes up through here. So try to follow those colors so that the edge of the bubble shows through as the edge of the bubble. You know, and you can definitely grab hold of, you know, a pencil or whatnot and follow that line so that you have that line in your picture as well. What I normally do with see-through things is I'll just slightly sketch in the different colors that are, or the different shape that is behind the area that I want to be see-through. And I do it very loosely. It doesn't have to be exact. And that way you can definitely maintain that structure and the way that looks. And then when you get into these smaller wings closer to her body, just try to keep it in a darker color so that you can definitely discern that those wings are thinner or thicker and closer to the edge, you know, where it connects. All right. Oh, try not to drop your pencils. Okay. I think she's looking very bubbly. Now, because this is a fairly dark grayscale, I am putting quite a bit of pressure on my pencil. just to get that lighter color to show through that grayscale. And it's only because it is a grayscale. If it was a line art, I would try not to put so much pressure on it. But because it's one of Selina's grayscales, sometimes her grayscale is really dark. And it's just because of the coloration that she's used. And of course you can see on the artist website what colors they've used on a picture, so you can determine what colors those darker areas are, so that you can color in accordance to what those darker areas are supposed to be. I really wanted to do a bubble wing, so I knew it was going to be a little bit more difficult with the grayscale, and I don't know what colors she used, so, and it's not really a big deal either which way, because I know what colors I want to use. Okay, so we're almost finished this wing. All right. And I have left a lot of the areas that the light sources are in. And I'm just going to go over it all with this white pencil. Just to blend it all together, but give it that translucent look. And to give those whites that bit of pop. Now, of course, I could have done the white with a jelly roll pen, and I will later on, once I've finished the bubbles and everything else and get everything all covered in the glaze. Now, there's several different things that you can use for glaze. You can use a glaze pen. You can also use and I've done it before, you can use a nail polish sealer. You know, that clear nail polish sealer that you put on your nails after you've painted your nails, that hardens the nail polish and whatnot. I have used that before, and it works wonderfully. So if you don't have a jelly roll glaze, but you have some nail polish sealer, or some hard as nails is another one that's really good, use that. It works. Just use either the little applicator brush that's in there, but if you're doing it into smaller areas, use a smaller paintbrush and just use that. It does work, and it works quite well. The only reason why I have the glaze is because it was bought for me last Christmas, so not this last one that just passed, but the time before. So, and that is how you do a bubble fairy wing. Now I'm going to switch over to the other camera so you can see, maybe. Let's see. It's not very good. Let's see if I can get closer for you. For some reason, this camera, there we go, so that you can see the colors in there. There's a light coming off my computer, which is causing the camera to have issues. But what we're going to do is we're going to play with that a little bit. Let's see if I can find the stuff I was talking about here. So this is I need a brush. Where are my brushes? And of course you can clean your brushes later if you do this just the same way you would remove nail polish from your nails. Just go in and use the nail polish remover. Just be careful with certain brushes that if it's a painted handle that you don't get this nail polish remover on the handle because it will make a mess. Not that one. Just looking for a small, there, that's a good one. Okay, so what I have here is just a small brush, and Sally's triple strong as nails nail polish sealer, nail sealer, you know, that sort of thing. Now you can use the applicator that it comes with because it does come with a pretty small applicator brush. It does have a very strong odor, of course, because it is a nail polish type of stuff. But what you do is you just take your brush and you fill it in. And this is a lot faster than going over it with the jelly roll pen and that sort of thing, because you can cover larger areas. And like I said, you can clean your brush the same way you clean your nails when you paint your nails. You just go and dip it in the nail polish remover. It doesn't have the same level of shine, but you can definitely put more coats on if you don't like the level of shine that's on it. I can't see very well without the light to see where my shine is, so I'm dipping this way too deep. Got it all the way up the brush. I think mine is getting a little old because it's a little gloopy. Try to stay in the lines though. So if you can't see, like I can't see, just go over the area that you want done and then let it dry. And then if you find that you've missed some areas, like I've missed an entire area right here. But if I do it while it's wet, as you can see, it just picks it all up. So if you've missed an area, try to make sure that you let it dry before you go playing with it too much, because it will lift it all up. Sort of like that. So if you're and try to go in one direction. From what I can see on this, it's picking up those brush strokes, which I don't want it to do, so. Okay. So as you can see, it gets that shine on there, the same, pretty much the same as the gel pen. And if you get it on your picture, just while it's still wet, just scrape it off. So basically what we're going to do, and I'm going to put this away and I'll dip this in remover later. Because it's got a plastic tip, I can just put it in a little jar of remover. It'll be fine. So what we'll do is we'll finish this up. I'll finish up the wings today and the bubbles and whatnot, and then we'll take a look at tomorrow is work in progress Wednesday. So tomorrow we'll take a look at the bubbles and maybe even the background, depending upon how far I get today. I do apologize. My dog has decided that she needs to run in and out of the house, and she has clicky nails. What I was going to show is I'm just going to wait until this is a little dry. So that's a little dry now, and I've got my number 8 jelly roll pen. And just go over the areas that are showing the white pencil, the areas that you left white, just to brighten that white up a little bit. But don't do this before you put your glaze on, because the glaze will pick it up and remove it. Make sure your pen's working. As you can see on my mat is all different little areas where I've tried to make my jelly roll pens work. And doing this over top of that nail polish is, and you can do this with any nail polish actually. Nail polish is a great way to do wings as well, if you're really proficient with nail polish. You can go over each area with your nail polish and just make the wings look glittery and whatnot, whatever nail polish you use. Okay, so that is how I do bubble fairy wings. And I'll finish up the other side today and paint them all up with the sealant and whatnot, and we'll look at, depending upon how far I get today, we'll look at bubbles tomorrow and the background. Of course, depending upon how far we get. The background's going to be very easy because I'm going to use a pan pastel on it. So it will be very quick, very easy. Another thing I'm going to do on the wings themselves is a little bit of pearl, I think. And I'm definitely going to put some pearl in her hair. I got a bunch of new stickles in, so maybe we'll put some glitter on the wings and pearls in the ties in her hair. So we will have to see how we doll her up. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed this informative little tutorial on how to do bubble fairy wings. And I thank Selina Fenech for definitely drawing this wonderful, wonderful picture. It is gorgeous, and I just love her work. Other than, of course, if you want to become a part of our Facebook group, we do have one. It is My Coloring Corner in Facebook. I do have a link for that in the description below. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. I do come out with a new video every day. And other than Sundays, Sunday I try to keep for family unless I have something special going on. Just so you know, in our Facebook group, we have a new event going on just for Valentine's Day. It's Be My Valentine. And it's basically color anything you want to color that has to do with love, friendship, adoration, hearts, flowers, any sort of thing. Just make sure that you color it in the color wheel colors of red and violet. So that's reds, pinks, light browns, and dark reds, purple, well, a light violet, um, an irisy color, basically, purples from light to dark. Not red purples, not, that sort of thing, but purples and reds. And I think that is about it. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the video. You guys have a fantastic day, and always relax, color, and stay safe. All right, guys. Bye-bye for now.